Welcome to the Florida Legal Access Gateway, or FLAG, a project sponsored by the Florida Commission on Access to Civil Justice, the Clay County Clerk's Office, the Florida Justice Technology Center, the Florida Bar Foundation, and Pro Bono Net. FLAG is a triage system to help users with legal problems find legal help, either through placement with a legal services office, a pro bono attorney, a lawyer referral service, do-it-yourself forms, or resources that provide information about legal issues. Let's take a closer look at how users will interact with the gateway when seeking help. This is the first page that a user will see, and notice on the right side you have some information for users who are in crisis. 911, a local sexual assault center, and statewide hotlines for abuse. Prior to building the gateway, the design team met with a victim advocate for the National Network to End Domestic Violence. The advocate suggested keeping this information static on each page and not collecting or storing personally identifying information from users. FJDC is not a law office, so we cannot offer attorney-client privilege. We have to be more careful about protecting the FLAG users. None of the questions ask for personal information until the point where the user is being connected with an attorney. After the welcome screens and some background information, the users asked questions about their legal situation. We'll walk through an eviction path. Notice the plain language used for each question and the simplified format where one question is presented at a time, not to overwhelm the user with information. If a user decides they want to see if they qualify for a legal aid attorney, they answer some eligibility questions, and if they do qualify, they're taken outside of FLAG. Now that we're inside the intake system for a law office, we can ask personal information. So the user provides information about their housing, and then they're asked about their FLAG ID number. This is an ID number provided in the final report in the FLAG system that helps us track users. So here they can input this along with the rest of their information about themselves and their eviction. After the user inputs all of their demographic information, they can submit the application, which goes directly to the Legal Services Office. For users that want to proceed on their own, they can choose the self-help forms. And in addition to self-help forms, they're provided with some information to learn about their legal problem. So they can look at information or videos on Florida Law Help. These videos were produced by legal services offices throughout the state, and users can watch them to get a better understanding of the eviction process or issues that come up during the process, or they can read through some frequently asked questions and view some sample letters. If the user decides to use the eviction forms, they'll be directed to floridalawhelp.org. This guided interview was created by contractors hired by Florida Justice Technology Center who specialize in document assembly and guided interviews using plain language. The form was developed by experts in housing law, and the final product was reviewed by volunteer attorneys. The user will see some disclaimer information and be told what they need to do to proceed. The interview asks if the user was referred from FLAG and if they're able to provide the referral ID. This ID will be printed on the final form and can be used to track FLAG users for evaluation purposes. After answering some questions about the user and their case, they're asked about affirmative defenses, whether they agreed to rent the property, things like whether they received notice. After finishing answering all of the questions, the user can download a document that they can file with the court, save answers, or go back. The user now has a Word document produced that contains an answer with affirmative defenses and some information about paying rent into the court registry. At the top of each page is that referral ID number from the FLAG system, and at the end is a certificate of service. Now all the user will have to do is sign the documents, serve the landlord, and file the answer with the clerk's office. For those that don't qualify for legal services and don't want to proceed on their own, they're given a link to the Jacksonville Bar Association Lawyer Referral Service. Here they can connect with an attorney that will help them with their case. If a user had a divorce issue, they could also see if they qualify for the Clay County Pro Bono program. For those that are eligible for Pro Bono assistance, the final report will provide information about how to schedule an appointment and how much it costs. At the end of each Gateway session, a report is produced. The report includes that referral ID that can be used to track forms through the filing process or the intake process. The user also has the option to download this information or print it out to refer back to it at another point. Again, we don't save the email addresses as a precaution to protect the user's information. There's also a short survey. Users can answer some questions about their experience, or they can find additional help from Florida Law Help and see what steps are going to happen next. The Gateway was able to provide the user with information about eviction and guide them through the process to create self-help forms, read about their legal problem, or refer them to a legal organization.